In this video, I'm going to tell you how I assembled and painted this Dark Future Interceptor car as part of the Dark Future YouTube Collaboration Challenge.
Sci-Fi-Wargamers.
Greetings, hobby fans. My name's Marcel, and it's my mission to help you explore the hobby. So as I just said, in this video I'm going to tell you all about my part in the Dark Future YouTube Collaboration Challenge. So as some of you might know, a little while ago I managed to acquire a copy of Dark Future. You can see in this video here what that is. Now I thought it would be fun to send the cars that came in the set to various other YouTube mini-tubers, YouTube hobbyists, YouTube hobby channels. Do we have a term for these? I think they're mini-tubers. I thought it would be fun to send the cars to them and we'd all paint a car in our channel's livery. But it didn't stop there. We thought maybe it'd be more fun to randomly select whose livery you would be painting. So I did a draw. If you want to see that, the video is up here. And once we've painted our cars, we'd all send them back to me and I'd create an interesting diorama of sorts using all the cars painted, and then show that off later as well. I myself got Leaf's channel over at Devs and Dice. He has a lovely blue, yellow, black and white scheme, although I wasn't too happy about having to paint yellow. Here's how I got on. Okay guys, so this is the car that I am going to be painting for Leaf over at Devs and Dice. Anyway, this one you can see is the red Interceptor with an additional coating of dust all the way from 1988 there. It's a lot smaller than I anticipated. However, it still looks like it's going to be a load of fun to paint. The chassis comes away from the body there. The wheels are also separate. I've blue tacked those on, and these 4 weapons also come off. I'm not sure what these weapons are. This top one they say is a grenade launcher along with that small one on the front, although they do look a lot like upside down bolters from Warhammer 40,000. These guns on the front wings, however, I have no idea what they are. I think they're some sort of laser weapons, but we shall see. I might have to look in the Dark Future instruction manual to find out what they are. So the plan with this is probably to take Leaf's channel colours and turn them into a nice looking livery for the car. I've got 2 options. I might go for a predominantly black car with a couple of patches of his colours, which are blue and yellow, or I might try and be clever, which usually goes wrong, and do like one colour of the car blue and then a big yellow strip down the middle to simulate his colours, which I think might look a little more interesting. Although looking at the shape of the car, I think I could do the middle bit one colour and around the back the other. Yep, we're going to do that. I've just decided, literally this instant, that's what we're going to do. The canopy in there, I'm not sure what colour I'm going to do that. I might leave it because it's kind of yellowed with age a little bit. So I don't think I need to paint anything on the inside of that. Anyway, let's get cracking. Okay, so we're now broken down into sub-assemblies ready for preparation and painting. I don't think I'm going to do a lot with the canopy. I'm just going to leave that as is, I think. The chassis looks a bit like a go-kart, doesn't it, without the canopy on. I've blue tacked the wheels on. I will take them off to paint. However, I've just noticed there is a flat spot on the wheel. So when you glue those on, you have to make sure that flat spot is on the bottom. Hopefully we won't forget that later on. The actual shell of the car is a one piece. We'll probably just spray the inside black and then work on that as is. I'm really starting to like these cars now. And the weapons, I'll just paint them all separately. But first, I have to clean up any mold lines and things like that. Okay, we are now prepped for paint. I'm going to whip the airbrush out and get these undercoated. I'll probably undercoat the inside of the shell black and the outside a white or a grey, because there's going to be some yellow paint involved. No one wants to paint yellow over black. The rest of it will all be black. Anyway, I'll get those undercoated. We'll see you in a second.
I'm now going to do the Amazon bit, okay? Come here, let's get on with that.
As you can see, we are now all primed and prepped and ready for base coats. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the first base coats on these, and then I'll come back to you. Hopefully it won't all go very, very wrong, but we shall see. Okay, so you can now see we have the base colours on, and we've gone for a snazzy blue and yellow effect. Or pattern, I should say. Colour scheme, pattern, effect, you know what I mean. So the blue I have used is Vallejo's Game Colour Electric Blue. Quite a nice blue, this one, goes on very well. And the yellow over white is Vallejo Medium Yellow, Vallejo Air. That's going to need quite a lot of work to get that looking as good as I want it to. But that comes later. Looking at it, I need to cut my nails. And then all the metal bits, like the weapon, etc., were done with Vallejo Model Air Gunmetal. That lovely tan coloured seat in there is an old paint, which some of you may recognise from a long, long time ago, is Citadel Foundation Macarius Solar Orange. This is still going strong, believe it or not. Hasn't dried out, although it's a bit filthy from the back. And then we've done a bit of white trim, but that's all going to need tidying up as we go. So the base coats are all on now, and the next thing I have to do is get some washers on. So I'll get those on, and then we'll come back and have a look then. There's some really noisy people outside my window at the moment. Okay, so we now have all the washers on. You can see some of them are still wet. And the dreaded yellow, I've decided to go with an orange wash. I find the orange helps to give you a nice bright yellow at the end of the day. So the next thing I'm going to do is start working these colours up, and then we will be ready for some detail work. Okay, so we have now done the base coats and a bit of highlighting and shading, and I have to say, I hate yellow. Okay, I'm not a fan of painting yellow. I can't do it. So I do apologise, world. The blue was kind of fun, but next up I've got to work on those black... Did I just say got to? I've got to work on those black sides and then do some number plates, finish off the tail lights and the number plate on the rear, and look at those hideous tide marks on the back there. Okay, we've pretty much finished the shell of the car now. We've done the yellow, the blue, the black. The lights, I've put a gloss varnish on those. I don't know if you can see it there. It should be reflecting the light nicely.
Shiny.
Done the rear lights too, in the same manner.
Shiny.
So after we've done the shell, we have to work on the interior of the car. There's not much to do on here, actually, to be honest. Only the seat and a few buttons, and look how white my skin looks. Some tyres and rims to paint. Not rimmers, rims. Rims. Paint some rims. Might try and do some little tyre writing effects on there. Might come out shocking, might come out good. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'll get this painted up, and then we'll come back and see how we get on. I'm trying to use my snake here as a way to hold the miniature while I paint it. Very good. What do you think? Want some paintbrush?
Tasty.
You're not impressed, are you? Can I have the car back, please? Alright, I think I've had enough of your assistance. Look at the mess you've made.
It wasn't me.
Bye. See ya. Okay, so after that rude interruption by the snake there and the wobbling camera, stop it. We have finished the interior section. We've painted a few lights there. One of the washers is still dry. That's not going to be gloss. It's just me getting ahead of myself. But the tyres are done. We've got a little fake tyre writing on there. It was so small I couldn't actually write anything in English. It had to be just a suggestion of words, I think was the term they used. A suggestion. But anyway, half of this won't be seen, so it's on to the next stage, which is the weapons. And this is literally all we have left to paint. So a turret mount there for the large gun, the Knotter Bolter, and the other 3 weapons on the side. Well now, the weapons are now finished. Look at those. There's the Not a Bolter Honest, or the grenade launcher. They've had their metals worked up, and I've done the little black weapon casing trim things with a little white streak around the outside. I don't know why I did that white streak, but I fancied it. It's my hand sweaty. Look at that. It's very hot today. I'm falling to bits. And there is the mount for the Not a Heavy Bolter Honest, the grenade launcher. So I'm going to put the car together now, and we will pretty much be finished. Alright, so let's get this guy stuck together. First, I'm about to pull the blue tack off. Today, the blue tack's decided to be exceptionally sticky. So here's my hot tip. Get some other blue tack, and it likes to stick to itself more than it does what you're sticking it to. Or in this case, it doesn't. Ignore my tip. As I can't see myself playing the game, I feel it would be a good idea to just glue the weapons on. So I'm going to snip the mounts a bit. That way they should fit a bit better. Now we have one windshield. I don't know how this should attach. I guess. Yep, just glues up into there. So we might need to PVA glue this and come back. Get out of the way, blue tack ball. I think that's what we're going to have to do. Yeah, it does fit there nicely. Right, PVA time. Here's my wonderful PVAing palette. All sorts of wonderful textures and PVA glues from around the years. Did I say it's really hot today? It's like 30 odd degrees. And the glue's probably dried inside the tub. Get out, damn you!
Get out, damn you.
3 hours later. Here it comes. Right, Z-Trick here. Find out where it wants to be. Someone outside revving their motorcycle. So we'll wait for those to finish. So we're going to get some PVA glue and dab it around on the inside. We use PVA glue because if you use something like super glue, it'll fog the plastic up no end. And even if you get a bit of PVA glue squeeze out, when it dries, you will not see it because it dries clear. Right, let's try that. Notice I've got some PVA oozing out. It should dry nice and clear. Nice and clear. Make sure my window is in the place. There we go, we have got some PVA on the window. Look, what an absolute mess. So what I'm going to try and do is wash that off. So I'm going to get my brush in the water over there, which is off camera. And then I'm going to pull the window out like an idiot. I'm just going to dab some water on those messed up areas. Rinse it around a bit and voila, it's clean. So now we just wait for the PVA glue. Why is it the PVA glue to dry? Some lovely marbling effects going on the inside there. Annoyingly, there's a gap on the right hand side, but not on the left. We can't worry about these things. It's a 1980s model. It's not going to be perfect, is it? I wonder if you line it up there, if it fits better. Yes, it does. Pro tip, if you line your bubble hole up with your weapon mount, it actually fits better. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a little while when it's dry. Okay, so I'm now going to get those guns glued on, and I'm going to use Tamiya extra thin cement. So I'm going to run some glue in these holes where the guns attach and stick them in. There we go. We got there in the end. There's one gun. Let's stick the other in. Make sure they're both pointing forwards. No one wants a wonky gun, do they? And then we just have the small one on the front to glue in. The not a bolter honest weapon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the old display spinner out and we'll get her down for you to have a better look at.
I just want to give a shout out to the other collaborators in this challenge, Devs and Dice, Miniocalypse and 52 Miniatures, and their channels and respective videos can be found in links in the description below.
Well, that's how I got on, but I'm really looking forward to seeing how the other guys participating got on as well. I've put links to all the participants in the description below. Please be sure to go and check those out. If you want to see more videos about Dark Future, you can click the playlist up here somewhere. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. That means you, Simon. As always, thank you very much for watching, and always remember to drill your barrels.